What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes news for January 10th, 2024, and it looks like the TapTap servers have an update. Now, I don't have the full patch notes or anything. My usual sources that I get stuff from are already asleep, and I woke up late today, so I don't have everything, but I do have some information. We got some screenshots from a couple other Discords. Jet actually shared a lot of this on a Discord, and then it got shared around to all the other communities and stuff. So we do have a little bit of information. The biggest highlight here: Void Invasion Boss Chapter 3 is coming. We've been dying for it. It's been like 6 months since Chapter 2 came out. And I think a lot of people are going to be able to crush this one that have already beaten previous ones. And it does seem to have the similar scaling as we've seen in the past. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. This does mean more resources for your Destiny transition, especially for free-to-play players. Let's jump right into it and let's talk about it. So first up, let's talk about the screenshots that we do have and some information that has been shared. Jet said that Void Boss 3 and Hollow Island 5 just got released. Well, I don't even know many people that are on Void Hollow Island 5 yet. Like, 4 is already really difficult with that Valkyrie wave. We'll see if we can beat it personally. I'm sure there's some people that have beaten it, but 4 is still difficult. But the big thing is, the takeaway is this boss here. So this is, I think, the assassin boss. We've had the warrior, we've had the mage, I believe, or is that the priest? I think it's the mage because it CCs a lot. And this is, I think, no, actually, you know what? This might be the ranger one, isn't it? You know what? I think I have a lot of the boss image files saved. Let me see what I wrote for that one. So we got the warrior. That's the mage. Yeah, I think this is actually the ranger boss then. Now, one thing that was also shared along with this is a little infographic from the Realms Gate, because it talks about these void creatures here, the predator tyrants. And it could be interesting, and it could follow a very similar thing. So it says some void predators further enhance their lethality through evolution. Compared to their lesser siblings, they unleash more fierce attacks while reducing the prey's precision and stealing their attack value. So that might be a big thing of them stealing a ton of attack and making us hit like a wet noodle. It says the predator tyrant deals damage as well inflicts negative effects on the prey, such as burning and bleeding. So if this is a dot as powerful as like the Valkyrie dots that we've seen, that could be absolutely devastating. It says, owing to its unprecedented combat instincts, Predator Tyrant restores lots of HP and increases its attack upon successfully blocking an attack. That could be crazy. You could heal as well. And lastly, again, remember, these are Realms Gate versions. If it is void energy inside void creatures, which will restrain other magic effects against these creatures. At the end of each round, it will dispel a debuff on itself. That pretty much, void disturbance is in like every game mode right now. The big takeaway though is we've already had like a reflect damage counterattack boss with the warrior in the chapter 1. We've had a crowd control type hero in chapter 2. So now I think this one will probably be some sort of damage dealer, is my guess. Now there's something also to talk about. Number one, we can compare the rewards to what we have in game currently, because remember, this is the first stage, so 54 and 68. If we do jump on over here in game, we can actually take a look at the stage 1 difference. So 44, 55, not a huge spike as far as like resources gained, but there's something else we can take away from this, and that's the difficulty level. Now we have to remember, it's literally been like 6 months since we had Void Invasion Boss 2 come out, and even then it wasn't that difficult for end game players. Now for free to play, it was a big power hike up if you're only in the mid game. But there's something to take away. You can see right here, the divine power level is 4. If we take a look in game, you can see we started power level 2 here on stage 1. We started power level 3 here, and in coordination with that, the highest power was up to divine 7 here. The highest power we went up to here was divine 6. So we can kind of, you know, figure out in chapter 3, we are going to start at divine power 4 that we saw, and we're gonna go to divine power 8. Now what does that mean for endgame again? Because endgame, yeah, that's not gonna be too much of an issue, because remember, we were beating those before we had all these Destiny transitions, and now we have even more. So even if the enemy is up to an 8, that means we're still gonna have a divine power gap of like 10 to 30% ish, depending on what our power levels go up. Because again, a lot of people were getting close to getting to that first hero. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Rex and some of the other people, once they finish this, hit temple level 10, build their Polystar hero, and get +6 divine power. That means they're gonna have +12 heroes. Yeah, that's gonna get crazy out of control. So we're still gonna be doing a positive amount of damage. If you remember, I think both in chapter, at least in chapter 1, we were pretty much at a -4 to 5 for a lot of those end battles, where we were doing 50% less damage to the enemy. Or rather, I should say, we were doing 30% less damage, and the bosses were doing 50% more to us, because they had the divine power gap in the positive side on them. Chapter 2, it might have been more even. We were probably breaking even, but I remember chapter 1, we were really doing crazy stuff. So it's really going to come down to what this hero can do. And we've seen that hero, that boss, in a few different game modes. We've seen him in the Celestial Force War, and this is going to be the first time we see him in Void campaign. So we do need to consider what his abilities are. There's a couple things we can get from this, and again, it's kind of from the Realms Gate version. If they take him and make him like a souped up version, it wouldn't surprise me. Number one, I think he's going to be able to steal a ton of attack from our heroes. And number two, hopefully there are burn and bleeds that are strong over time, and not necessarily something that is like a Valkyrie dot, which is just insane burst damage. Because Valkyrie's dot just hits instantly. It does so much damage because it's based on HP. I'm hoping this one is based on his like attack value or something. And even if it's not like purifiable by dot purify, I still think it'll be pretty interesting. I do think this might be an easier boss overall, just because of the divine power level, but we'll have to see. We don't have access to that on TapTap, so we can't see exactly what they do. So the last part to talk about is total rewards we can potentially see from this. You can see it starts at 54,000 and 6,800 respectively. The only information we can kind of go off here is looking at the past one and seeing the scaling. So in the past, the Scattered Spirit Vein went up 8,000 every single level here. And then this over here, the Aurora Gems went up 1,000 every single level, going all the way up to this amount here. So if my math holds correctly, that means as far as Scattered Spirit Vein that we're going to receive should be around 900,000, which is probably 1 or 2 full levels in a like going from like core to chaos or chaos to core and so forth and so forth. It's probably about 2 of them that you'll get out of that. The big thing also is the Aurora Gems. So it looks like if the math holds true and it does scale 1,000 every single one, we should end up with about 113,000 Aurora Gem shards, which divide that by 5,000, which is how many it takes to make a gem. You should be coming away with about 22 additional gems. So that's going to be a good amount of progress. Again, this might be the first time we actually see people hit the oh my god, it might be the first time we see people hit level 10 and get their Polystar hero. And the big reason Polystar is so important, because that unlocks the true ability, the true transition skill in its glory. And that's when we're going to see probably one hero potentially shine really big that has not just yet. If it works the way we think it is, that might be Star Swordsman Machman. We'll see if it's been paying off for everybody that's been saving up. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. If it does come out on Android and you have a Star Swordsman Machman and you're going to Destiny Transition 6 them, please let me know. I want to test it out. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.